Hello guys, and welcome to this broadcast. It is Fo from mamaandmoney.com, where I teach moms how to make and manage money to become financially free. In today's broadcast, I'm going to be teaching you how to sell digital products without a website or a large following. So if this applies to you, if you don't have a website and you want to start selling digital products, this is the broadcast that you want to tune into. Now, if you are joining me live, I want you to go ahead and do me a favor. Share this live stream. My goal is to reach at least 100 moms to teach them how to start selling digital products online. And in order for me to do that, I need your help. So go ahead and hit the share button. And in order to make sure that you are notified when I go live again, go ahead and like the Mama and Money page so that you can get that notification. So I am going to jump right in because I'm not here to play any games today. And I also have a sleeping baby that I need to make sure I'm available for when she wakes up. But we're going to talk about how to sell digital products online without a website or large following. I know many of you guys do not have websites. Many of you guys are not bloggers. Many of you don't have a large social media following. And if in the grand scheme of things, I don't even have a large social media following compared to other people. So I'm going to tell you how you can actually start selling digital products, start making money without any of those things, because they ultimately do not matter. So we're going to talk about why followers really don't matter, where to go to find customers when you don't have an audience, the number one thing that you need to be focusing on when selling products, and then ultimately the two best alternatives to having a website. So let's jump in. So first and foremost, even though I'm going to be teaching you guys how to sell digital products without having a website or large audience, I'm going to go on record and say I recommend that you do have a website. And I'm going to get more into that a little bit later. But even though I'm going to teach you how to sell without a website, having a website is probably one of the best things that you can do as you begin to grow a business and grow a brand online. So let me go ahead and put that out there in the forefront. But because you don't have a website, or maybe because you just don't have the time or the money for the investment in a website, I'm going to show you how to do that so that you can literally start selling digital products without a website, without a large social media following, for $0 upfront cost. All right. So first thing first, we're going to talk about why followers don't matter. Let's sit down for a story time. There was a story that went pretty viral maybe a year or two ago about an Instagram influencer who had like over 1 million followers or something like that, who could not launch her product line. She was doing like a fashion line, t-shirt line, because she could not get 30 people to buy her product. She had over 1 million followers, but could not get 30 of them to buy her product so that she could launch her fashion line or whatever it was that she was about to launch. She couldn't get the 30 order commitment that she needed to go back to her manufacturer for them to start production. This is when you know the amount of followers that you have on social media does not matter. This is one thing I want you guys to write down. If you have been on my workshops, then you know you need a pen and paper because I'm going to teach you some stuff. This is what you need to write down. Followers do not equate to sales. Your followers are not necessarily your customers. Hence my statement that I stand by. Your followers do not matter. The amount of followers that you have do not matter when it comes to selling. You do not need to be in the business of trying to increase your followers, because followers do not equate to customers. That story alone showed you that you can have 1 million followers, but you can still not be able to sell a single product. I want to let you guys know, let you in on some of my info. You know, when it comes to the products that I sell, the majority of them are from people who I have never met, people who have never interacted with my brand before. They are first-time customers. They have found me from Pinterest, which I've talked about Pinterest before. So this tells me that it's not the people who follow me on social media necessarily. It's not the people who like my videos or who like my posts who are purchasing my products. It's the strangers who have found me because they are looking for a solution to their problem, and I have provided that for them. So that being said, the amount of followers that you have does not matter if you are trying to sell digital products online. So if you're thinking, well, I only got, less than 100 people, or only a couple hundred, or maybe a few thousand, I don't have enough to sell. Fact of the matter is, your follower count does not impact how much you are able to sell. And I am a testimony of that because the majority of the people who buy from me are first time customers. This is their first time even interacting with me. All right. So instead of finding followers or trying to gain followers, what you need to be focusing on is getting traffic or qualified leads. Now, this is a term that I want you guys to write down. Traffic / qualified leads are greater than followers. And a qualified lead is simply someone who is very likely to purchase your product or take you up on your offer. It's a marketing term. But you want to get someone who is already interested in the product that you are selling or the product or service that you're advertising, because they are more likely to purchase from you. So instead of worrying about followers, you need to be worrying about, how do I generate leads? How do I get qualified leads, people who are likely to buy, people who are already interested in what I'm selling? Because if I can get them to my product, it is almost a guarantee that they will probably buy if I'm able to solve their problem effectively. So again, qualified leads is greater than followers. You need to be focusing on people who are interested in your product and not people who are just fans of what you're posting on social media. So if you can get qualified leads, why do you have to worry about the amount of followers that you have? Now, sometimes in many cases, these are two in the same or one in the same. Your leads may be also your followers, but a lot of times it's not. So follower count means nothing. It does not mean that you're guaranteed to sell. What you're looking for are people who are interested in what you have and are qualified leads, people who are likely to buy or purchase what the service or product that you are providing. So let's talk about, how do you actually find these qualified leads? How do you get people who are interested in what you're selling, who are likely to buy? The fact of the matter is, you have to market to them. You have to market directly to them. You have to attract them by how you position your product. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about product positioning in this workshop. Is actually the one thing that I'm going to talk about in my course, Product to Profit, that I told you guys is dropping pretty soon. So if you want to learn more about how to position your product, how to learn more about how to generate leads, how to get qualified leads and all that stuff, definitely make sure you click the link in the description to get on the wait list. And that is one thing that I'm going to be talking about in the course. But what you need to know today is that you need to get qualified leads. You don't need to be focusing on followers, but you need to focus on attracting people who will be interested in your product, because your product already provides a solution that they're looking for. Okay? So first things first, followers don't matter. Follower count does not matter. I told you guys the story of the girl who had 1 million followers but couldn't sell 30 t-shirts. And I also shared with you the fact that the majority of the people who buy from me are people who are new to my platform, who are new to my brand, who just happen to find me likely from Pinterest, and I solved a problem that they have. So followers are not important. Qualified leads is what you need to focus on, and you find leads by positioning your product and marketing to them specifically. And that's something, again, that I talk about in the course that you need to get on the wait list for. All right. So instead of focusing on followers, I told you to focus on leads. But the second thing that you also need to focus on is you need to focus on solving a problem. You need to focus on providing a solution. This is one thing that I talked about in our last workshop. If you missed it, you have to focus on providing a solution. That is the only way that you're going to be able to attract these qualified leads that I'm telling you about. They are looking for a solution to their problem, whether that is a recipe, whether that is a budget spreadsheet, whether that's a template, whatever the case may be, whatever the digital product is, they are looking for a solution. So you need to be the solution to that problem. You need to solve a problem. So instead of focusing on how do I increase my follower count, focus on how do I create a product that solves a problem, and then how do I position that product such that people are interested in purchasing it. So instead of focusing on followers, you need to focus on solving their problem, solving the problem of your ideal customer, so that when they do find you or when you find them, then you will have something that you can offer them that will solve their problem and ultimately end up in a sale. So if you know that your focus should be on leads and not on followers, you should also be focusing on solving a problem. What do you do now? What do you do now that you know the problem that you're solving? Now that you know about qualified leads, what do you do now? So what you need to do now is learn how to acquire those leads or potential customers. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. So If you don't have an audience, if you don't have a database of qualified leads, if you aren't interacting with these people on a daily basis, you have to find them. You have to go to them. You have to find the audience that is actually going to purchase your product. So if you don't have a website where people are consistently coming in for that specific reason, or for the specific reason that you, or problem that you solve, you got to go out and find those people. The old adage of if you build it, they will come is not true, especially now in the internet space where it's completely saturated. Everyone is doing similar things. Every second that we get on social media, someone is vying for your attention. I'm vying for your attention right now. You could have been on Facebook just scrolling to see what everyone was talking about, and you saw me pop up, and maybe you clicked on. But every second of the day that we're on social media, someone is vying for our attention. So just like everyone else is vying for attention, you are vying for the attention of that qualified lead or that potential customer. So you got to go where these people hang out. You need to know where that ideal customer, where that person who's likely to buy your product is going to be. So you need to go to two places. The first place you need to go where they're going to be searching. You need to go where they're going to be searching. And the second thing is you need to go where they're going to be shopping. So let me break down exactly what I mean by that. You need to go where they're searching. I talked about Pinterest at length in the last workshop. Pinterest is the third largest search engine there is. You have Google is number one. I want to say YouTube is number two, which is owned by Google. And then there's Pinterest. I could be completely wrong, but it is one of the top three search engines out there. So if you want to find qualified leads, you need to go where people are searching for answers. Think about this. When you go on Google, what do you normally type in? You're probably going to type in how to do something or best, whatever product you're looking for. So you're searching for a solution. That is what the majority of people are using search engines for. How to is the number one search phrase there is, period. You want to learn how to do something, or you want to find the best solution for whatever product or problem that you have. So if you are trying to sell a product to someone, you need to go where these people are searching. Meaning, you need to be on Pinterest. Think about it. When you go on Pinterest, most people have a Pinterest account. Most women, for the most part, actually. But if you go on Pinterest, what are you searching for? You're probably searching for a recipe. You are probably searching for home decor. You are probably searching for outfit ideas. You're probably searching for craft ideas. Like, you're searching for something. This is where people search. So if you're trying to sell something, you need to be present where people are searching. I talked about Pinterest at length, and I have a whole section in the course that is going to be dedicated to Pinterest. But if you're trying to sell a digital product without a website, meaning people are not coming to you, you have to go to them. And one of the first and primary places you need to go is where they're going to be searching at. Now, I could say you need to be on Google, but Google is a whole lot harder to be found on, and that will get into search engine optimization, all this stuff that you probably don't want to necessarily learn about right now. But Pinterest is the easy solution for you to get in the mix where your ideal customers are at. So first and foremost, if you need to find customers, if you need to find an audience and you don't have a website, you don't have a large following, you have to go where they are searching. Go where they are searching. Make yourself present on Pinterest and be in the mix. So when they are searching for how to do something or best whatever, or they're looking for that recipe, or they're looking for that DIY project idea, or they're looking for that decor idea, or whatever the case may be, you are in the mix to be found. Okay? So the second place that I said you need to go is you need to go where they are shopping. And what I mean by this is you need to make yourself available on marketplaces. And I'm talking about marketplaces like Etsy. I'm talking about Amazon. I'm talking about places like Creative Market. These are all marketplaces where people are going to buy specific things. Now, the great thing about marketplaces is that these people probably already have debit card in hand. They are already ready to buy. So when they find their solution, they're going to go ahead and put that debit card number in, put that CVC number or whatever it is, and they're going to go ahead and make that purchase. So if you want to position yourself to be one of their solution providers, if you want to make a sale, if you want to sell your product, which is an answer to their problem, you need to position yourself in the place that they are already shopping. So again, if you don't have a website that people are frequenting, you need to go where they're going. You need to go where they're shopping. You need to make yourself visible on a marketplace like Etsy or a creative market, depending on what you sell on Amazon. You need to be where people are shopping. And again, listen, guys, I'm just giving y'all just a small snippet. There we go. A small snippet of what I'm going to be talking about in the course. I have a whole section on how to use Etsy, how to set up an Etsy shop. I have an Etsy shop in addition to my website, and I also sell my book on Amazon. So everything that I'm telling you guys are things that I use myself, and these are ways that I'm able to generate income and make sales. So you have to go where the people are at. One, where they're searching. Two, where they are shopping. All right. So go ahead and finish scribbling down your notes. I'm going to grab me some water. So far, follower count does not matter. You need to focus on qualified leads. The second thing is you need to focus on solving the problem. Have a good product first and foremost. Let's back up. Square one. Have a good product. There are a lot of people out here selling trash. Have a good product first and foremost. And that will help you on your journey to selling products. But follower count doesn't matter. You want to be able to make sure you're focusing on solving a problem. And then I told you the last thing that we just talked about is if you don't have an audience. So if you don't have a website, if you don't have a large social media following, you have to go where those qualified leads are going to be. You have to go where they're searching, and you have to go where they're shopping. You have to position yourself and your product to be in the mix of where they're going to be. And then one thing I mentioned that I talk about in the course is how to position your product. We're always vying, literally every second, an advertiser is vying for your attention. Whether it's an influencer posting a picture that is a sponsored post, or if it's a big brand that's pushing an ad out to you, or if it's a smaller brand that's pushing an ad out to you. We are all vying for everyone's attention every second. So you have to be a good marketer. You have to be able to position yourself so that your product can be seen, especially if you don't have the platform or the notoriety that will naturally get you that attention. Okay? So go where they're searching and go where they're shopping. All right, so now let's talk about the fourth and final thing that we're going to talk about this afternoon. We're going to talk about the best alternatives to a website. So I started off this workshop telling you that no matter what I say in this broadcast, I believe that you still need to have a website. You need to have a website because if the internet decides to shut down, if a marketplace decides to shut down, if Facebook, if Instagram, if any of these platforms decides to shut down, you still have a home on the internet. I like to think of the internet and websites as virtual real estate. You guys know I'm in personal finance. Real estate is a means for building wealth. So if you think about it in the virtual sense, having a website can be a means for building wealth. You want to take up as much digital real estate as you can to help you build your brand and build your wealth. So I already said I think you should have a website. But if you don't have a website, I'm going to tell you the best alternatives to having a website. And again, this is all stuff that I want to teach you how to do in the course Product to Profit. You can go ahead and get on the waiting list. That link to the wait list is in the description of this video, or you can just go to mamaandmoney.com/course. Okay. So first and foremost, one of the best alternatives that you can use to a website is Etsy. Etsy will be the number one alternative depending on the product you're selling. But for the most part, if you're selling digital downloads or printables, Etsy is the number one alternative to having a website if you're not interested in getting a website. Now, the advantages of Etsy. Advantages are you have a built-in audience. Remember I said go where your audience is already shopping. So the advantage is you have a built-in audience. Etsy has a lot of information that you can use to market your product, but that is also the downside of not having your own website. Etsy has the data and you don't. So when I get sales from customers on Etsy, one, I do a praise, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. I appreciate every sale that I get. But secondly, I go and I see, okay, who was the buyer? But guess what I can't get? I cannot get their email information so that I can remarket to them. I can't get their demographic information to know, well, they're between this age and they live in this region. And so there's so much information that's lacking that you won't be able to use to expand. So it's important, and when it comes to marketing digital products, that you have an email address. That is like gold in the world of digital products and digital marketing. I can't get that from Etsy. Whereas if I had it on my website, I could get said buyers email address. I could remarket to them. I could send them an email letting them know when I have new products, but I cannot do that from Etsy. So that is the disadvantage of being on a platform that is not your own. Yes, you have a built-in audience, which means it could make it a lot easier for you to make a sale when you don't have your own audience. They have people who are already looking for the product that you're selling, so you can quickly make a sale and you can continue to make sales from their platform. But one, they're going to take fees, and two, you don't have the data that they have. So you are limited to their platform when it comes to selling, and there's a lack of information for you to expand. Now, there are ways around that I will talk about in the Etsy portion of the course, but ultimately, it is a good alternative to having a website, but it does obviously have its downsides when it comes to having data. And data is everything when it comes to building a business. So Etsy will be my number one alternative to a website, obviously depending on what products you sell. And then my second alternative that I would recommend would be landing pages. Now, landing pages are literally just a web page that people can land on, hence the term landing. It's like a standalone web page, and I actually left a link in the description of an example of a landing page, my own, that I use. But if you don't have a website, you can create a landing page, and there are services that you can use to do this. And the thing about landing pages is, although you don't have the built-in audience that you would get from having your own website or using Etsy, you can acquire that data that you wouldn't get on Etsy. So when I use my landing page, I can use my Facebook pixels, I can use my Pinterest pixels. These are all ways that I can track people who come to the site, get information on their demographics. I can retarget them if I run ads. So there's so much more data that you're able to get when you own something. And a way to do that without having a website is a landing page. So you can gather data about the people who are visiting. You can get their email addresses, which means you have their permission to market to them in their inbox. And the thing about a landing page is you can customize it a lot more than you can on a marketplace platform. So you can build that like, know, and trust factor. So if you guys check out the landing page example that I have a whole section that's about me. So someone who's new to my brand can go on there and they say, okay, well, she's selling this. These are all the features. This is how much it costs. This is her. This is her story. This is how this product came about. And so that's building that like, know, trust factor for someone to say, okay, she seems like she's a trustworthy person. I'm going to buy her product. So you can do that with a landing page while being able to get that data and that information from that person who has visited. And then you can use that information to later market to them again, remarket. And then that's how they become return customers. So if you don't have a website, which allows you to do all of that in one, the best alternative is to either use a marketplace like Etsy, or to create your own landing page that allows you to get more customer data and also build that like, know, and trust factor. So there is advantages and disadvantages of not having a website, but if you're not going to use one, definitely go with Etsy for the majority of your digital products. And if not digital downloads or printables, you can always use a landing page, which allows you to gather information. All right. So the best thing is honestly to have all three. I have all three. I have a shop on my websites. I have an Etsy shop, and I also have landing pages, which I have shown you guys, where I can get all this. I can get the best of all worlds, and I can kind of cast my net out to a broader audience, which allows me to reach more people and therefore be able to make more sales. So let's recap on what we learned today. First of all, you learned that followers really don't, follower count, not the people. Follower count does not matter. You need to focus on generating qualified leads. And in order to even get into positioning a product in front of them, you need to make sure you're focusing on their problem. You need to be making sure that you are actually creating a decent product that's going to solve a problem. So then you need to go where your ideal customer is going to be. And there are two places that you need to be. You need to be where they're searching, and you need to be where they are shopping. So if you don't have an audience, you need to go where your audience is going to be. The old adage does not work. If you build it, they will not come. It's too many people on the internet vying for attention. It's too much going on for them to try to find you. You have to go find them and position your product appropriately. One quote that I put on my Instagram and one quote that I live by is, opportunities will show up when you do. So show up. And then the opportunity will present itself for you to be able to make a sale. And then the last thing we talked about is leveraging alternatives to websites. So leveraging marketplaces like Etsy or Amazon or Creative Market, and then also having a landing page that will allow you to gather data about the people who are visiting your landing page, which will allow you to remarket to them. So we learned about followers, we learned about solving a problem, you learned about where you can go as an alternative to your website, and you learned how to actually find your customers when you don't have an audience. So now what do you do now? You got some information, you got some notes I want you to reflect on. First things first, I want you to go ahead and click the link in the description of this video to get on the wait list for the course. The course will be launching pretty soon. So go ahead and get on the wait list for the course. If you are listening to this, it is mamaandmoney.com/course, and that will take you to the page to get on the waiting list. The second thing I want you to do is go ahead and like the Mama and Money page so that you can get notified when I go live again. I'm going to be doing several more of these workshops before the course actually launches, so you guys can get some valuable information to get started, and you can kind of get a sneak peek of what's going to be in the course, the information that I teach, so that you can create your first digital product and make your first sale. And the last thing that I want you to do is go ahead and share this broadcast. Again, my goal is to serve 100 moms by the end of this year and teach them how to sell digital products and start making money online. Guys, let me tell you the reason behind all of this and why I am pushing this so hard and why I'm so passionate about it. We've gone through a rough year. 2020 has done a work on us all. And the one thing that I found is that a lot of people were not prepared. A lot of people were not prepared financially. You know, a lot of people got laid off. If you guys know my story, you guys know I have been laid off before. And so I can empathize with a lot of people and what they're going through right now. But what I want you to do is be able to be prepared. I don't want you to all to have your eggs in one basket. I want you to be able to diversify your income. I want you to have income that's not contingent on you being present at work. I want you to have income that's not contingent on you being present at all. I want you to be able to diversify your income and create an economy for your family so that when the world's economy is crashing, you still have a means to support your family. You still have means to make ends meet. You still have means to make money. So that is why I'm so passionate about teaching moms how to make money online, because it's there. It's possible. You can do it. I shared the story about how I sold an ebook while I was in labor with my daughter. So that's what I'm teaching. I want you to be able to have that same story of being able to make money without being present, to be able to make money without losing time with your family, and to be able to create your own economy so that when a pandemic happens, you know, we aren't panicking because we have lost a stream of income, our only stream of income. We need to diversify. So help me reach at least 100 moms so that they can start building economies for their families, so that they can start building multiple streams of income. And the way that I am doing that, the way I am serving moms, is teaching them what I know, teaching them what I have been able to do, and that's by selling digital products online. So again, go ahead and hit that link in the description to get on the wait list for the course that will be launching soon. Go ahead and like the Mama and Money page so that you can be notified when I go live again. If you've enjoyed these workshops and the information that I'm sharing, give it a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up and a share, and say, hey, put a personal note and say, hey, I think you need to check this girl out. She knows her stuff. She knows what she's talking about. Give it a share. And then, join me on the wait list because the course is launching soon. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go on your Sunday evening. Enjoy it. Stay well and stay safe, and I will see you in the next broadcast. Bye.